Hello, welcome to Cupcakes and Crafts. In today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a flower pot with flowers using Terry's chocolate orange. To prepare the chocolate orange we first need to make sure that we've got no loose segments, to which I did on some of mine. So to fix them in place I've put some chocolate in a piping bag in the microwave for 30 seconds or until it's melted and placed it all the way through the centre of each chocolate orange. For the first flower pot I'll be using our prepared chocolate orange. I've got a larger amount of purple, green and some different pinks. I have some water and a paintbrush, icing sugar. I've a 4-inch cake drum just to hold the chocolate orange on, a leaf cutter. I'm also using a petal cutter, but if you don't have one of these you can use a piping tip, a circle cutter, anything round which will create a circle. The first thing I did was cover the actual chocolate orange in fondant, and I chose a darker purple for this. I did keep my fondant a little bit thicker than I usually would, and I just found that this helped with the chocolate orange not being smooth underneath. And I picked which side I wanted to be the top and the bottom of the vase and attached that by using a little bit of water on the back of the fondant. And as you can see, just working that down, smoothing, pulling it apart, smoothing, pulling it apart. Once the majority of the fondant was at the bottom of the chocolate orange, I just took a sharp knife to remove any excess and tried to push as many creases out as I could with my fingers, and then roll it in between both hands and smooth with my palms. To try and tidy the base, I rolled a thin piece of fondant and just attached it to the base and tucked it in with my finger. I did cut mine ever so slightly too short, but it's not a problem because that'll be the back anyway. Then I rolled a bigger piece of fondant to sit on the top of the chocolate orange. I'm still using the same colour and just attaching that with a little bit of water. Before sticking it on, I did want to make sure that the join was going to be at the back rather than at the front, because I will cover that later. The first thing I decided to make to decorate was the leaves, and if you don't have a leaf cutter, don't worry. You can cut a circle and remove a piece of the circle, so you've got an oval, taper it in to one side, and using a cocktail stick or the back of a knife, make a line through the centre and some little lines coming off, and that's just an easy cheat leaf. I decided to go with the leaf plunger cutter just because it was quicker for me. If you don't have a petal cutter, again don't worry, using that same circle cutter, cut out a number of circles, as many as you like, overlap them, and starting from one side gently roll them all together, and there's a simple flower. I did use the petal cutter for my Terry's chocolate orange just because again it was for time, just a lot quicker and more petals. Really simple to use. Once you've cut it, you fold it and roll it. Really simple, and you get some really pretty flowers. And I'm just going to make a few flowers in each of the colours that I have. To attach the leaves and the flowers, I'm just using a little bit of water and starting by placing a leaf over the joint at the back of the vase and placing on wherever you want some more leaves around the edges. I did find with the flowers I did need to trim them a little bit on an angle so they'd sit over the lip and fall back into the rim on the top. I was able to get 7 flowers on the top of mine, and I just randomly placed them, and I did notice there was little areas what needed to be tidied up, so to do that I made some more leaves and just placed them where I thought it was a little bit untidy. Again, just attaching them by using the water. And to make the Valentine's Day theme, it's the exact same. Again, I did start by covering the chocolate orange in a white fondant this time. I did, however, roll it a little bit thin so you can see areas where the chocolate almost shows through, especially on the top, but I'm not too worried because that will get covered. And instead of rolling a strip of fondant to go around the bottom, I actually cut a circle of fondant out to see what the different effect would be. I did find it to not look as neat, and on any more I would roll a strip of fondant. To decorate, I rolled out some black fondant fairly thin and cut out some hearts and placed them all the way round. And as same as before, I rolled another piece of fondant to create a lip on the top, making the flowers in the same way again as before. I decided to not add any leaves this time. I wanted just the red flowers. I did again have to trim them to fit them on and tuck them in on that lip. I did rub the bottom of the flower with my fingers just to make sure it was smooth and tidy. And there you have it. Thank you very much for watching.